familiar face, JD, who's returning back to Kansas City. Mike Edwards, our guy, Mike Edwards, the ball hawk, the guy who was always around the ball whenever he was with us 2 years ago. But yeah, Chiefs have not stopped adding veteran depth. It's been pretty much an offseason. I think the last few years, we kind of see the trend of a lot of one-year deals around the league, not just in Kansas City, but all over the place. Just seeing the trend of one-year deals, which is interesting. It's a new take on free agency now. But yeah, so Mike Edwards is back, adding depth to the safety room, which lost Justin Reed this past offseason. This guy was jogging the spot. I mean, whenever he saw the ball, that guy was around there. You saw 21 around the ball a lot when he was in Kansas City. I don't know how he did last year in Tampa, but yeah, and nonetheless, he's back on a really solid deal, a 1 year, I think, like veteran minimum. But JD, what do you make of this move? We talked about the safety room being a kind of young room between Cook, Chamari, Jaden Hicks. We might see some Najee Johnson back there at safety this coming season. It's kind of, pretty young, but you bring Mike Edwards back, a little elder statesman. What do you make of this, the DB or the safety room?
I think it's much needed to have a veteran presence back there, especially Reed leaving, to kind of show these young guys the way on what they need to do, how they're supposed to prepare themselves for the game to play. Mike Edwards, man, we know that he's been a consummate pro ever since he's been in the NFL. I think he said that Matt House is the one that kind of brought him back here. He's going to be under him as well. So Matt House used to coach him over at the University of Kentucky. And so they was coming back for that relationship, but Spags and those guys. So I think this is something that they needed to do, especially in that secondary, especially at safety too. Especially, like I said before, you lose Reed. Who else do you have? So got a lot of young talent back there, a lot of young talent. Hicks is going to learn a whole lot from him. So I think it's a good move, Marcus. I really do. It's a really good move for our defense.
Yeah, I'm seeing here a lot of people. It's not the only chat I'm seeing this on, but I'm seeing guys at G-Pick. Mike is our best free agent signing to this point. A lot of people love the Mike Edwards signing, and a lot of people didn't want him to go 2 years ago when he went to Tampa. Just having him, does this? When you see this move, is this more of like kind of an insurance thing of, if the young guys aren't ready to be that spot? I mean, like, how much playing time do you think Mike Edwards is going to get? I mean, and is he the replacement for Justin Reed? I mean, how do you think that kind of safety room is going to go now that he's back there?
Well, I think if there's any type of bumps, any type of hang-ups whatsoever, Mike is the all-around do-it-all guy. He really is. He can cover, he can come down, and he can play in the box. He can do it all. And so the thing is, when you have a guy as talented as Mike, like you said, a ball hawk, he understands defenses. He knows exactly how to get angles. He know how to communicate, especially in the secondary. I think people don't quite understand how important it is to communicate with the other guys, especially where you're supposed to be in zone or man in a particular coverage. And Mike's going to be able to do all of that. So I think he's going to get a lot of playing time. I do. Hicks is a guy that is going to come in. He's going to play a whole lot. I do believe they can switch this up with him and have a great rotation. That's one thing that Spags likes to do. He likes to rotate his guys, especially at safety. Demetrio Spence and Mike can play a little slot too. He can. And so, like I said, man, he can do it all. He can really do it all. But without a doubt, Marcus, I do believe he comes back, not to just take a back seat or just sit on the bench. He's coming here to come play. And so Spags is sitting over here, and he has any reservations on any guys, any questions. He Mike, go ahead and get in. Shoot, I would even say that you start looking at training camp and start seeing how everybody's going to be moving in and out. Mike might start at the beginning of the season, to be honest with you. So we'll just have to see. And like I said before, that might not be a big thing because Spags like using his rotation on those guys anyway. So, but now going back to saying it again, man, Mike is a great signing for us. Veteran guy, veteran presence, veteran voice back there. And I think Spags and those guys are very happy to have him back in the building.
28 years old, too, so he's not like this old guy. I mean, he's still, 28 is still pretty young.
Yeah, it just seemed like he lived a long life because, where it seemed like he's been in the league for about 12 to 15 years.
I know. I guess when a guy comes back, goes elsewhere, and comes back, you always feel like he's older. Like Juju, for example, that's a good one. Well, Juju, it's not only the fact he came back, he also kind of plays a little bit like an older guy. And when you look at his age, you're like, wait, what? He's 27 or 28. He has that kind of old man kind of movement right now, which is not the best thing for a receiver, but.
That's what I was saying when he came back here. They're like, man, we got old Juju. I said, man, the Joker was 2 years removed from catching almost 80 balls.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He had an injury. That's what slowed him down. He went up there to go chase the bag. Found that the grass went green on the other side, especially up there in New England. Jeez, that's rough. That's a rough outing. Especially, when Belichick leaves and people didn't want you. People ain't looking at you in in the locker room. Everybody just kind of turned their head every time you walk. Hey, what's up? He ain't gonna be here too long. And so we had to get him back. I'm glad he's back too.
So Bucket Bob says, because he had an introductory press conference today. Mike had a good press conference today talking about how he's grown since he was last year. 2 years, or a year removed. So I guess a guy, talk about that as far as football years, JD. How much is 1 year? How much is a guy learning as a 26-year-old guy? How much is he really learning deep into it? Because talk about from a rookie and sophomore point of view, right? Obviously, they're learning a lot. Yeah. But when a guy's like an elder statesman where he's been around for a couple of years, the guys have really learned that much. Is he really learning that much in a year removed from being in Kansas City?
Is he learning a lot?
Yeah, talk about because obviously you're in the NFL for 5 years at this point. Like, how much is the guy really learning at this point? Is this a good soundbite he's saying, or is this you played for a long time, so year 6, are you still learning new things? And they say it's always a good thing to say, right? It's as you continue to age, you're still learning new things. Yeah, that keeps your mind preoccupied. Now you learn new traits, new tricks.
Well, I think he is. He might be learning also too his limits on his body and what he can and cannot do. So he might have had a really inflated, thought of who he was, right? And was like, hey man, I'm still the guy. And he realized, hey, shoot, man, maybe I'm not as quick as I thought it was. So he's learning. He's learning his body. He's learning, like I said, some of the angles. He's learning how to communicate even better. But that goes into it. I think you learn every single year that you're in the league. And something else you just going to see that you didn't quite see before, Marcus. And that's one thing we always supposed to do, right? We all supposed to come in and we supposed to learn every single day. Doesn't mean, that you're not learning. When you get older, you actually realize how much you don't know. Man, I'm just now learning this. Yeah. You know how they do the little memes like I was, a couple days old until I learned how to do this or that, man. I think they're pretty funny when they do that. Because I'm just like, I didn't know that. I didn't know it either. So it's always good. It's always good. So Stewart says, Stewart was in business. He said in business, 1 year is a lot. Yeah. You talking about customers, how you treat them, foods, money, bringing things out. There's a lot that goes into it. Sure. Constant improvement is a core value. We all have to have that. Mike Brennan is absolutely correct. So, but yeah, he's going to give them a lot of good nuggets that these guys could understand. Like, hey man, look, I tell me, don't do that. Oh man, I'm gonna do it this way. He's like, look, I tried that a couple of years. I'm just telling you, you could try it this way. How about doing it like that though? Okay, see how you act and respond to it. And so some of the young guys that might have struggled last year, like Najee struggled. He can help him a whole lot. Jamari can help him out tremendously. And so having a veteran guy that understands how to take things and, needs a conversation to the linebackers, to everybody on the sideline, to the coaches, even a guy might, if it's even mentally, emotionally, how to deal with things. It's like, hey, yo, you got this. Okay. You can't be that way with the coach. When you're trying to learn, you're trying to do things, man, listen to what he's saying. And that's part of the problem with some young people, man. They like talking more than they like listening.
Yeah, well, they think they know it all at that point.
Yeah.
I was making so much at NIL. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's a different issue. But yeah, having Edwards is great because we talked about the youth and also too, Connor last year. We played him in the slot a little bit last year, and maybe it allows him to kind of play more in his prime position, being a safety, and having a guy like Edwards who's kind of versatile dude who can play a little bit of everything. So I do like that aspect of it. But we get a question here from Mike Brennan, which I think is interesting. We haven't really talked about safety at all going into this draft in a couple of weeks. Edwards is only on a 1 year deal. I think Cook's a free agent after next year. I think Nazi just got his exclusive rights free agency thing signed. So I think it's a 1-year deal. So Connor may have 2 years left. So pretty much that is kind of Jaden Hicks. Okay, well he's got a couple of years, but nonetheless, do you think that's something they could go? I mean, we haven't talked about it, but is that something you think they could go early within the first 3 rounds of the draft? I mean, would you be surprised if they did that?
Early rounds, maybe. I you know what? I've always in all my mocks, I put a safety in there. Every single one, and I do believe that might be a move. I think it'd be a good move to get a very talented safety that could kind of do it all. Plays within the scheme. Somebody who was without a doubt has some speed, has some high IQ. Because sometimes, man, some of the things you just need to add on to what you already got. So it's like, hey, man, we could find maybe a diamond in the rough, maybe 4th round or wherever, and pick somebody up, get a guy. I like the one safety from Ohio State. He's good. I like him. Can't think his name right now, but he's a good safety. Been watching him, how he plays. There's a few guys I've actually checked out, like safety wise. I'm like, okay, yeah, I could definitely see him in our scheme. So, we ask our safeties to do a lot, man. A lot of covering, especially in man zone. You got to know where you're going to be, being down, close to the line of scrimmage. So that's a lot. That is a lot. But I do see Marcus getting us a safety somewhere in this draft.
I mean, I just based on the contract we just talked about. I mean, Jaden Hicks is and Shamari Connor the only two, and we obviously we like having a lot of safeties out there doing some stuff for us in the back end. So, we like the versatility from those guys. Sandman says, question: wasn't Nazi a safety in college? Yeah, he was. That's why when people were knocking Nazi for doing a poor job last year at corner, I was like, okay, well, 2 things. A, that's first time playing cornerback in a season. 2, he's coming off an ACL injury. I think now with Justin Reed gone, I think we actually may see a little bit more of him going back to playing some hybrid safety cornerback ish kind of stuff. We may see that. I don't know. I'm just guessing based on his position in college, which at Marshall he was a safety.
Yeah. I think that's his natural position. But he can do it all. The good thing is that you utilize him at corner, challenge him in that regard. Put him on, as a nickel, back, and he's done okay job at times. He don't mind coming down and hit like a safety. He don't mind that at all. That's one thing I love about it. So Lathan Ransom, that's it, Mike. That's what I like. That's Lathan Ransom. He's a good player, really good player from out there, Ohio State. So.
Ohio State's got some dudes in this draft, man. They have some dudes.
They do. Yes, they do.
We got an interesting question. This is interesting from Nana Sherry. Do players sign an NDA when they change teams so they don't tell the new team the plays of the former team?
No, they don't. If you come over, obviously you might want to try to give some tail, let them know as far as like, here's some of the things that they kind of give away, some of the things I like to do. And coaches like picking, players' brain. But it all depends, to them, I think they like the challenge of, okay, let us figure it out. What did y'all run over there? What was it? What's your favorite thing they like doing? So, but it don't, man. NDAs, you can't do that. Shoot, you got coaches going to other teams, so it's just, hey, man, and the reason is this is so much of a copycat league. Football, you could write a whole lot of X's and O's up. You could dress it up a lot of different ways. And it all comes down to tackling, okay? Breaking tackles, scoring. It's going to just go down to the bare bones of what things are, okay? All right, get fast, make tackles. Shoot, make a guy miss and hit home. That you want to be able to do. So, yeah, and coaches, they love trying to figure things out. They love trying to, help guys out and saying, like, look, this is what a guy does before he does it. Maybe that'll give you like a little indication about what they're going to do. But no, you don't have to sign on NDAs. Never heard that before.
I will. I mean, I guess in different industries, like for example, I guess, yeah, different industries. I'm saying some people are saying, oh, same thing with other industries, but no, not really. Like, you have different things where, like, for example, if I were to leave like a news station right in DC, and I want to go to another news station in DC, locally at least, sometimes you have like a 6 month of, hey, like, you can't go. 6 months you cannot be on TV. You can't go from my station one day and the next station. They put those things into contracts sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's certain things. Like, for example, ESPN, like, we're buying you out of your contract, but we're buying you out. You can't go work for Fox Sports for a year at least until that contract is done, because we're still paying you that money. There's certain things though, but like when I was working as a public relations for a grocer, they had a thing you had to sign, was called trade secrets. I couldn't share anything to other grocer type places, and that was like certain things they had, like, you couldn't. If they ever figured out that I was giving some trade secrets to Aldi, for example, I was liable for something, right? I was a breach of trade secrets, and that was like something that most people did. But the thing was, you still had CEOs and different guys coming from those other grocers, so it's like, I mean, come on, trade secrets. Give me a break. It's grocery.
Well, I think sometimes you talking about intellectual property too, innovations. Yeah. Like, there's certain things you just can't do, and you got to make sure. Because, like, if I patent something, it's like, hey, this is how they make such and such work, right? This is what they do. Okay, well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna put 2 and 2 together. Next thing you know, you be getting getting a lawsuit on you.
Yeah.
Getting somebody to come to court. Hey,
crazy, man. Yeah, because I remember looking at the whole thing when when you first got on board, it was all those things about trade secrets. Anything you see, you can't take over. You end up getting a job at the competition. It's like, okay, I mean, like, it's grocery. But anyway, I was in public relations, so not a lot they're taking over from public relations to other places. That's all common knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is called non-compete clauses. Right?
Yeah, the non-competes. He's talking about the media aspect of things. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So Mike Edwards back, and wouldn't be surprised if we take a safety in the draft. So there you go. Lathan Ransom. I'm gonna have to do some safety research, JD. I haven't really done much. I've been honing in on defensive tackle.
Yeah, he's a good long guy, man. Plays really well. Comes down, makes hits. Loves to tackle. Another ball hawk. He's a solid player. I like him a lot. I think he's one of those guys you can get in the 4th round. No question about it. I do. So, what's his family man said? I hope we don't draft a right and try to make him left. If you get what I'm saying on the O-line, I agree with you, family man. No, we are drafting. If we do draft a tackle, it's going to be particular to that side. Okay, you need swing tackles. We need a guy that specializes in the left or the right. Okay, and I've been playing it for a long time. And I want to see a joker that's all he's been doing is kick stepping from the left side. Okay, that's it. We draft a guy, and you know what? I've said that. I said it on. There's reports that Josh Simmons might be a first pick. Hopefully, if he falls to us. I would be shocked if he failed that we didn't take a chance on it. I would be.
Well, I find it funny that you've been talking about this for like since we started our draft shows in the offseason. You've been talking about Josh Simmons, and I'm all of a sudden starting to hear over the last few weeks, Josh Simmons of the Chiefs sounds right, and you've been on it since the get-go. So you guys have been hearing it first from JD on this show since February.
Yeah, see, when Nick said that, Nick Wright was talking about it. He did his first mock. He got Josh.
And I saw someone commented on that, was like, yeah, I don't want him. I'm like, he's a top 10 talent. If he didn't get hurt, he would be a top 10. What are you talking about? You don't want him.
Yeah, why? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
People, as long as you're not making the decisions, that's all right. You don't have to want them all you want.
Well, it's just funny because I think people, and I think I'm a victim of this too, right? Like I fall in love with certain guys, but I'm not going to deny if a guy's talented and we should take him, right? Like, I want Keyshawn Judkins in the 2nd or 3rd round. If he's there, take him. But I'm not going to be mad if we don't get him in draft, another running back like Caleb Johnson or whatnot. I'm not going to be mad about that, but obviously I prefer one or the other. But people get too much into their draft crushes where they get anything else outside the guy they want. That's it. They want Luther Burden because he played for Missouri. And that's it. They want to keep him in Kansas City.
Oh yeah. I think on one of the mocks, I put him down as our pick.
Oh, fans are gonna love that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the Kansas State fans won't like it though. The K-State ones won't like that. He'll be the Nick Bolton of the offense for the next 4 years.
Man.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.